that.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. I'm Rev Neal Worthington, and I'm delighted that you're here with us today. It is a beautiful day. The sun is streaming in through the windows. I hope for warmth and maybe even a little more than yesterday, but signs of spring are here. And in fact, we've just passed that equinox and we're on our way to more light. Would you join me in a moment of prayer as we begin? And center yourself. Be here now as we pray. God of all goodness, we cannot help but be grateful. First of all, we're grateful for those difficulties that we have faced this past week. For in them we have learned, in them we have grown, in them we have discovered a blessing. We are grateful for each one who is here today. We are grateful for all that draws us together and binds us together as an emblem and a symbol of the great oneness that we are. So bless us as we continue with this service. Bless us as we connect with each other, affirm our connection with the divine. And so it is. Amen.
And welcome again to Unity of Payson. My name is Donna Steckel. I'm your host today, and I am a licensed Unity teacher. We're so glad you are with us this morning. We want to recognize those of you who are new to Unity of Payson. So if you've been invited by someone and you are with us today, we would like your inviter to introduce you.
Okay,
So, go ahead.
I'll start out because I'm delighted to have my friend Charlotte with us this morning. I have known Charlotte from Sweden and India, and that was a long time ago, but we were able to connect again recently. And I invited her to come, and I noted on Facebook that she's been posting things that are spiritual. And I didn't remember that part of Charlotte. And I found out that's a bit of a new part for her. Charlotte, just say where you're from, any word you want to say, and you'll have to unmute yourself to do so, but please do if you'd like to.
Yeah, I'm Charlotte, and as Neil said, I've had a spiritual awakening, and I'm currently living a very spiritual life, and I'm very curious about learning more. And I'm delighted to be with you today and to see what you do in the Unity Church.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. So if you would like more information about us, you can go to our website, unityofpayson.org. And you can contact us there and leave us your email address, and we'll send you our weekly newsletter each Monday. Again, we warmly welcome you. And from our Unity of Payson family, we say together, we love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And now it's time for our opening song. During the song, you're welcome to send greetings in the chat. And the song is Growing in Spirit, Terry Wilder.
Spirit is alive and well and living in me. Spirit is alive and well and living in me. Spirit is alive and well and living in me. When I flow in the Spirit, then I grow. I can only grow. Spirit is alive and well and living in me. Spirit is alive and well and living in me. Spirit is alive and well and living in me. When I flow in the Spirit, then I grow. I can only grow. Spirit is alive and well and loving through you. Spirit is alive and well and loving through you. Spirit is alive and well and loving through you. When you flow in the Spirit, then you grow. You can only grow. When we believe, we will see all that Spirit wants to be. Spirit is alive and well and growing as us. Spirit is alive and well and growing as us. Spirit is alive and well and growing as us. When we flow in the Spirit, then we grow. We can only grow. When we flow in the Spirit, then we grow. We can only grow.
Okay, it is now time for gratitudes. We're grateful for those who support Unity of Payson with your time, talent, and treasure. We're grateful for all the events that we have been continuing to hold virtually, which includes morning coffee every weekday at 9:30 a.m., Intenders Circle, and discussion groups. A group that was started again last week is A Course in Miracles. And then we had yesterday an equinox and birthday celebration for our dear Marianne, who turned 80 years old. What an inspiration. What an inspiration that was. We know that each of you have things to be grateful for. At the end of our service, we'll invite you to unmute and briefly share your gratitudes with us. So Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer, and we have trained prayer chaplains to support you. Our chaplains are available to pray with you. You may call or text your request to the church phone, which is on the screen, 928-235-7142. Our prayer team and Silent Unity will join you in prayer for 30 days. All prayer requests are held sacred and confidential. And let's move to our theme. Our Unity Worldwide theme for March is wisdom. And I'll read the affirmation. I can handle any circumstance by tapping into the wisdom within me and all around me. Amen. Today's speaker is Rev Neal Worthington, and the talk title is God is in Everything That Happens. And now it is time for our metaphysical moment. And I'm so fond of the daily word, that's what I will read from today. Forgive. I extend forgiveness to myself. Throughout my life, I have forgiven those who have hurt and disappointed me. In turn, I have been grateful when others extended understanding and forgiveness to me. Even though I have learned to be forgiving with others, I may still find it difficult to forgive myself for mistakes I've made, disappointments I may have caused, and commitments I may have broken. Today, I open my heart, and with love and compassion, I forgive myself. I remind myself that everyone makes mistakes, and everyone deserves understanding and forgiveness, even me. I remember how the prodigal son's father received him with joy when he came home. This joy is mine when I let go of self-judgment and finally come home to myself. From Luke 15:20. But while he was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran and put his arms around him and kissed him. So just briefly, one of the aspects of nonviolent communication that I teach is self-compassion. And over the years, I have really learned that self-compassion is a bridge to understanding others and also to being honest with others. So I'll say a little more about that in the announcements. And let us see, the Unity mission and vision statement is next.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay, that's only on the first Sundays. I used to just platform on the first Sundays. So that's what I'm used to, but it's crossed off. So we won't do it. All right, it's time for our speaker, Reverend Neal Worthington, will share his message with us. And please unmute Reverend Neal.
Am I muted still?
Oh,
You're
you're
good.
good.
Oh, okay. I am here. I don't often use the word God, but for today anyway, I'm going to reclaim that word. If it carries baggage for you, just substitute whatever word helps you express the divine, or even put a big question mark there. How big is your God? I'm going to suppose that you all have different approaches and different views of God, and I'm not going to assume what it might be for you. Perhaps your God is localized, a statue or an idol that sits on your altar, a presence that looks over your shoulder, watching you or watching out for you, an idea that is confined to your consciousness. Perhaps it's your belief that you cannot surely know anything about God, or that there is no God at all. So how big can you think? Can you believe in the existence of our planet Earth and our solar system? Can you affirm the collection of human knowledge that has been recorded and transmitted to us? Do you comprehend the magnificence of and all of creation of which you are aware? Or can you think a little bit more largely than that, of the universe or multiple universes or even infinity? Can you conceive of wisdom past, present, and future that is absolutely limitless? And can you imagine an energy source 1,000,000 times more powerful than any now known? Can you bring into your mind a reality that anything, literally anything, is possible? However largely you can think, that's how big your God is. But you say, I'm not so sure there is a God, or that God is in everything that I can imagine. And I say, why not? We are told in Genesis of the Hebrew scriptures that we're made in the image and likeness of God. But I think that we operate as though the opposite is true, that we have made God in our likeness and our image. We think of God in human terms that match our own personal bias. Stay with me now. Take your belief about God, whatever it is or not, and stretch it. Let's think big. Let's stretch ourselves toward infinity. How big is your God? Is your view stretching and growing? Take a snapshot of that belief and take a look. That's how big your God is. Today, I'd like to share my belief with you. Here it is in brief. God is in everything that happens. I love big thinking. God begins at me and extends us to the far reaches of the multiverse, or beyond, or better. God begins at the far reaches of the multiverse and extends to me, through me, and as me. God begins beyond the wisdom of the ages and of the future and extends to my understanding, however simple that may now be. God begins beyond the magnificence of the physical world as we know it and extends to the spot in which I sit as I create in my world. God begins with the greatest imaginable energy and extends to the energy that I witness and that I express. Today, that is how big my God is. Tomorrow, my God will be larger. My God is all good, completely and incontrovertibly. If I am making a picture of God, why not a picture of God that's good? It is my thinking and my believing that effectively makes it so. What's more, that picture of God really connects with my best understanding of me, the real me, and my desires. I am on a compatible frequency with that God, God the good, extending to me. My belief goes beyond that still. We are one, God and I. We are one God and all of us. Our connection is inseparable. Therefore, I am always in the presence of God. There is no place that God is not. Wherever I am, God is. There is no circumstance outside of God's presence. How different that God is than the concept that I evidence in my everyday life. So I have some reconciling to do. I have some choices yet to make, some action yet to take to live out my belief. And just like my understanding is growing, so it is with my belief. Whatever your belief, however God shows up for you, you too are evolving in your understanding. I spoke of being an extension of God, an expression, a child of God, if putting it that way works for you. Knowing or even assuming that it is so, it follows that there are divine qualities that come with that, qualities that equip me and you to address the challenges and uncertainties of life. We have a legacy. We have unique abilities that prepare us for the circumstances we face. In Unity, we call these abilities the 12 powers. And throughout this year, we will consider the powers one each month. As we have already shared, The power or theme for this month of March is wisdom, the ability to evaluate, to discern, and apply that which we know. It is this ability that allows us to tap into divine knowing, that guides us through the difficult spots and helps us make difficult choices and then follow through on them. Remember, the power of wisdom is an inheritance, ready to be accessed, ever available. Go back with me for a moment to our earlier thought. God is everywhere present. We express God in the world. We are one. I do not always remember this when I find myself face to face with a difficult circumstance. I stew, I worry, I wonder if there is a way through the difficulty. There is, utilizing the power or faculty of wisdom. That wisdom ability is within me. Divine expression that I am. It is not outside of me, something that I need to track down, nor is it found in the mind of another, though wise ones may point me in the right direction. It is not found in a God external to me, but within me as the expression of God that I am, deep in the core of my being. We are one. Getting down to brass tacks, as my father would say, how do I appropriate this wisdom that is mine, my given ability, my inheritance? For me, it requires tuning my thoughts to the God within, just like a musician tunes his instrument to the master frequency that brings together all the instruments of the orchestra. You've probably seen it. The principal violinist stands before the performance and sounds the note, and all of the other players sound that and tune their instruments so that they are together. It's no secret to you that thoughts are something we can choose as we tune ourselves to that God frequency. Yes, it takes firm intention, a lot of practice to think the way we choose to feel. Think and feel, and particularly thought feeling, for their feelings are thought-based. Why not then tune our thoughts to the divine within? Though it is not easy, it is fairly simple. I'll suggest in a few minutes ways to do that, but back to tuning to the divine within. I employ all of my humanity in consciously connecting with God the wise. First, I recognize and acknowledge where I am right now. Can I see beyond the circumstance in front of me? Can I turn away from thoughts that use me? Can I choose my thoughts carefully and turn my thoughts inward, or I might say Godward? Do my thoughts reflect my true heart's desire? Can I own the feelings that accompany my thoughts? If those feelings reflect my heart's desire, do I bask in them and the needs that they meet? And if those feelings do not mirror my desires, can I discern my needs that are not being met? Can I give to myself that which I seem to be lacking? Can I allow, just allow, and await the emergence of divine wisdom that ever resides within? Sensation is a wonderful body response that I have disregarded for most of my life, but it is oh so useful. Those gut feelings that show up on occasion are due to be recognized. It's time. They are the nudge of the intuitive knowing that precedes wisdom. The more I recognize and utilize them, amazingly, I grow wiser. I had the opportunity to sit in a workshop yesterday with David Friedman, Broadway composer.
Looks like we've lost Neil.
It looks like Donna may have fallen off also.
Yeah. What do you say we go on to the meditation song and then we'll see if they come back?
That's a good idea. Thanks, Tom.
All right.
In the still small voice, listen for an answer. It may be a whisper, sounding like a dream. In a still small voice, there will be an answer. It is the voice of God. Listen for the voice of God. In the still small voice, listen for an answer. It may be a whisper, sounding like a dream. In the still small voice, there will be an answer. It is the voice of God. Listen for the voice of God. Listen. In the still small voice, listen for an answer. It may be a whisper, sounding like a dream. In the still small voice, there will be an answer. It is the voice of God. Listen for the voice of God. Listen for the voice of God. It is the voice of God. Listen to the voice of God.
I had a little, thank you, Tom, for filling in on that. I had a little difficulty with with the internet here in the mountains of Arizona. It's sometimes undependable, but we are back. And if you will wait just for a moment, I'll continue on.
Some people's internet may go out where others don't.
And Tom, if you would mute anybody that any sounds coming through, I appreciate it. I love that song, so that was probably just the perfect place to go, the still small voice. I was speaking of my experience yesterday in a workshop that I attended that helped me to get a great feeling for how sense can be useful in us being able to unfettered, unblocked, move into the core of our being, move into that divine within us to access the wisdom that is there. I'm going to share briefly with you. David led us through a brief meditation in which he asked us to bring to mind that which we really desired, that which we really wanted. For me, it was easy. One of the intentions that I voice and affirm daily is that I am disciplined in mind. So I brought that to mind as he led us in the meditation. And then he said, take a moment to be quiet. What sensation do you feel in your body? And it was almost immediate for me. When that request was made, I felt the shivering I felt like I needed to put my arms around me, as in protecting myself. And that uncomfortable feeling arose in the context of me stating my affirmation. David went on to tell us how valuable that sensation was, how much a pointer it was to move us through the resistance, through the blocks that we might have, to the achievement of that which we desired, to the manifestation of what we hope for. It was a very insightful exercise for me, a transformative one. I'm still working it out because it's not merely an event, one thing in time, but also a process. For me, experiencing the sensations that I did began to dismantle the obstructions to my receipt of my good, my heart's desire, and to pave the way that had been blocked to the access of my knowing. In this case, it was self-knowing. The work of unblocking may not be done in the snap of my fingers. It may require some assistance and the awareness of tools to assist. Undoubtedly, those blocks were put in place way back in my youth. My subconscious learned them well and has been operating in respect of those blocks ever since. And today, they are an impediment to my appropriation of my knowing, my wisdom, my good. Oh, how beautiful is my body. It is profoundly wise. Sensation directs my path as I bring it into awareness. And then as we listen, there is this most important facet of knowing that we discussed last week, the still small voice. Be still and know that I am God. It is so important to find that secret place of the Most High, secret place of the most deep. We put aside distractions and clear the clutter in our lives. We prepare and we expect to receive. We relax, breathe, and become still. Then we listen. And in listening, we hear the voice of God. So how do I do all of this, as I usually say at the end of a message? Here's what I suggest. Start just where you are and ask, how big is my God? Then get ready to stretch. Tune your thoughts. Use your imagination rightly. That worry that you're so prone to, if you are, is a misuse of that great gift, one of those abilities that we have, the gift of imagination, the power of imagination. Use your imagination rightly. Focus it on that which you desire. Thirdly, monitor what you ingest. Just like you would look at your diet and count your calories or your carbs or your sugars, monitor what you ingest. What is it that you take in through media, through those around you, for the news reports? What is it that you're ingesting? What is it that you're choosing to ingest? What are you reading? What are you watching? Monitor what you ingest. As you know, if what you are ingesting, what are you taking in, is of the same frequency as the divine frequency, or even close, you're much more likely to access that wisdom within. And then put all of you to use, body, mind, and heart. Consciously choose your thoughts, honor your feelings, pay attention to your sensations. As you get a grasp on who God is for you, allowing room for stretching, employ that ability that you innately have and pay attention to what you sense. I believe then that you will understand that the God of your conceiving is growing, is expanding, and that God is in everything that happens, everything. And so it is, and so I am, and so it will be. We want to move now to a quiet time, to the silence, in order that we can take these thoughts, what stands out in them to you, and bring it home. Claim it, bring it within. So in this time, just make sure that you are here now. You can do that by relaxing, seeing that you are firmly grounded, connected to the planet. Open and willing as you breathe, and maybe pay attention to nothing but your breathing. As you breathe in, just notice that breath. As you breathe out, notice again. Slow the pace of your breath and notice. It is your very life. And as you go quiet, realize that you are in no other place, in no other time. You are here. You are now. So in this time, I would like us to just quietly contemplate the words that I say, not my words, but words of wisdom. As you sit in the quiet, in the silence, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be, just be, and sit in the silence with your being and the oneness that is. And as you have accessed that state of being, gone beyond the efforts and the actions of doing, know that God is in all that happens. Be still and know that I am God. So I would like you to come back with me to the world in front of you, to the company of these around you, with a new sense of that great ability within that is available. And now that you're back here, breathe again, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes to make sure you're here. And we'll move now at the time of the service where we have an opportunity to give and receive. We've had that opportunity to receive, and we do continually. And now we take that opportunity to give. Unmute, Donna.
Now is the time to share our gifts and our offerings. Unity of Payson appreciates your gifts in support of this ministry. These gifts not only support this spiritual community, but they also go out to the larger community. As you listen to the offering song, you'll have time to make a contribution. Please ask what is yours to give today. You may go to unityofpayson.org and click on the donate button at the top of the screen. Bring your attention to your gift and call to mind your heart's desires. And together, let's affirm, freely we give and freely we receive.
At the foot of a mountain in a bamboo cafe sat an old Asian lady with eyes full of grace. I felt myself drawn to her calm, quiet way. And as her story started to flow, I was carried away. She told of a night when soldiers appeared and chained her in darkness for 7 long years. There's a wall in her country 1,000 miles long, and they wrapped it around her for thinking and speaking all wrong. Stand like mountain, move like water. Earth and heaven have this to offer. Strength will flow from life with honor. Stand like mountain, move like water. She knew in her heart she'd committed no crime, and a story to tell is what kept her alive. In a cell with no windows, she nurtured the seed that one day the light would shine in and people would see. I thought how her life was so different from mine, and the insight that came has remained in my mind. Here is a woman who knows who she is. Through good times and bad, she's the same, the way that she lives. Stand like mountain, move like water. Earth and heaven have this to offer. Strength will flow from life with honor. Stand like mountain, move like water. At the foot of a mountain in a bamboo cafe, we bowed to each other and I made my way. But I carry with me, like the seeds on the wind, her spirit and her story to tell. And so it begins. Stand like mountain, move like water. Stand like mountain, move like water.
So we have a little rhythm going on in the background. And now it's time for the dedication of the offering. We're grateful for these gifts and for the abundance that they signify. We bless them and those who give, as we say together, divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we do give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Next Sunday's speaker will be Betty Bennett. And again, our theme is wisdom, and her talk title is From Judgment to Discernment. And Betty is a licensed Unity teacher also. Okay, so time for some announcements. We have, I'll share with you a few of these announcements, but there are many things happening. Please check our website at unityofpayson.org or the Monday email newsletter for all of the details. All of our meetings are on Zoom, and love offerings are appreciated. We have a discussion group with Rick on Mondays at 7:15 p.m. Remember, the time has changed for everybody but Arizona. So, okay, and the book is Just One Thing by Rick Hansen. Okay, we have other discussion groups going on. We have midday meditations on the 2nd and 4th Fridays. And also, we have a class starting that I'm teaching called Nonviolent Communication as a Spiritual Practice, a Language of the Heart, Part 2. And I'm excited to teach that class and welcome you to contact me. My phone number is 978-3299 if you have any questions about that. And it begins on April 6th at 4 p.m. And we have a PS from Neil.
Yes, thank you. I would just remind you that sometimes you can't figure out where to get some information. If you can't, it's a very easy email that you can send to unityofpayson@gmail.com. That will be monitored a couple of times daily, and we'll get the information to you that you require. So that's one easy way to find out what you'd like to know. I would also like to just emphasize that one class that we're beginning on the 25th, this coming Thursday at 6:30 in the evening. That's a study of the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a powerful little book, and only 4 agreements and an introduction to go with it. But that makes for a wonderful 5-series class, and we'll do that for the next 5 weeks. I invite you, even if you don't get the book, to join with us on Thursday at 7:30. Then one more thing, as we look ahead, the second Sunday of the month is going to become Invite Sunday. I took a shot at it today, and I invited Charlotte to come. So we're trying it out. But I would like you to think about that, and those that you might want to invite to be with us. They can be any place, as you know, and I invite you to be an inviter or invitor. I don't know which one it is. So that's all I've got, and now we'll go to our closing and the peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as Creator, family are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous thought. I take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And now together, the prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Ooh, thank you for being with us. Now we're going to have an opportunity to just connect with each other and share gratitudes. I would like to say again, I'm extremely grateful to Charlotte for joining us here today. And if anybody has a question for Charlotte, you can feel free to ask. But I open it for other gratitudes. What are you grateful for?
Well, this is Betty, and I was really grateful to be able to see everybody and get a few masked hugs yesterday at Marianne's birthday party and equinox celebration. It was so great to see everybody in person. So yay for that. And you all need to unmute yourself so you can speak.
This is Kay. And I was really grateful that we were able to acknowledge June's birthday.
Yeah.
Even though it was
cool.
late, but it was so much fun to be able to see everybody. I really, really enjoyed yesterday.
And lots of yummy vegetarian dishes. Neil and Donna brought a brand new one that they tried out, and it was yummy.
So who else, or if you just want to speak and greet each other, feel free to do that. Say hello to Charlotte, our guest of honor today. And
Hi, Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte. And hello, everybody from Colorado. I wish I was there with you yesterday.
oh, joy.
But it wasn't doable. So you were all in my heart, and I hope you all had a very wonderful time. And I thought of you.
Thanks, Joy. And Frosty, it was so good to see you. I got to get 2 hugs from you. And she's saying, hang on, It was wonderful to see everyone yesterday. Good message today. Love Frosty in Phoenix. She drove all the way up for the party. Yay.
Anybody else get your last licks in? Because we're
Marianne,
gonna.
do you have some comments about your party yesterday?
I would love to hear.
Yes, I put it in chat. Thanks to everyone who helped me celebrate yesterday.
It was wonderful. We had fun.
Mhm.
So I want to thank you, Charlotte, for joining with us today. That's a very special thing. I'm glad you were able to. I'm sure we'll connect. Send me your email on Messenger. And we'll have it. It'll be easier to connect. Anybody else? Going once?
I too.
Going twice?
Loved yesterday.
Oh, Phyllis.
So
Hey.
good. It was so good to see everybody. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much I'd missed you all. So thank you. And thank you, Marianne, for making that opportunity. And I love my little gift that you put in my sack. Thank you.
So we often put our hands up and bless each other as we go on our way and go on with our day. Bless you all, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.